The explosion will be as loud as Gumball will scream in fear when he chases after it.
I think I will pass this part without any problems. It is clear that this will be the most difficult passage that I have ever done.
To find out what's in my room, you need to like and subscribe. Come on, I'm waiting. Well, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's Gumball showing his ass!
Hello, everyone, dear friends. Today we are playing Roblox and Gumball will escape from a broken amusement park.
Sounds very ominous. I think this will be a very interesting and scary walkthrough.
Gumball, it won't be that easy. You'll need to run away, avoiding the vague clown's lava and other interesting things.
As I understand it, I will have to try here, because from the very first level with parkour was waiting for me.
You understood everything correctly. This will be one of our most difficult walkthroughs that have been on this channel. Now you will need to follow this ball when it bursts. You need to go down.
From the very first level, it is clear that this will be the most difficult passage that I have ever done. If I am in hell from these beams, then a monster will be waiting for me below, and I will have to start all over again.
Yes, Gumball, there will be many levels of jumping, and therefore it will be very difficult for you to complete this game.
It's really not that difficult. How to teach him something other than playing computer games?
Why, actually, I am also good at playing board games outside and others.
Okay, I guess we all agree. Be careful. There will be pipes along which you need to go to the next area.
Why do you think that I'm so stupid? In fact, I completed all the games almost without your tips. I think you wouldn't even pass the first few tests.
I don't know why you think so. I, for example, don't think so. Maybe my sister thinks there, but not me.
Actually, I didn't think so. He came up with something for himself there, but I don't think so either. Be careful. If this hand grabs you, you'll have to start all the levels again.
As I write this test, Gumball passed without any difficulties. But next will be his least favorite test, jumping up this big pipe.
Surprisingly, Darwin turned out to be right. I really don't like such tests. I always slide down and have to start all over again.
By the way, I offered Gumball to play this game instead of him, but he refused, and now he's complaining that it's too hard for him.
This is all because you would spend more money than trying to at least pass this game normally. Even I couldn't beat it on the first try.
As much as I hate to admit it, Gumball is right now. I watch him play and I understand that I wouldn't pass.
But it seems to me that you passed Gumball. Now he's not very confident in passing. Would you be sure you just passed everything without any problems?
But I don't agree with this. Look how easily he goes through this narrow pipe. You'd fall off in the first meter.
Because you saw how many attempts he spent to at least pass dozens like this, but he still doesn't confidently pass.
I don't understand what you're talking about. I pass normally, more confidently than my last attempt.
Considering how many times you've gone through this, how many times we've rehearsed what we're going to say, you're going through it terribly.
Don't be stupid, he's getting through everything fine.
We don't understand anything. I would have passed better than him on the first try, but he passed it 15 times.
Gumball, be careful. And now you will need to go up the stairs. There you will need to climb over the fence. There will be an evil clown chasing you, and you will need to run away from him.
Okay, thank you. How can I guess that an evil clown is chasing me now?
There will be a small explosion and he will chase you. Be careful.
The explosion will be as loud as Gumball will scream in fear when he chases after it.
Hey, actually, I'm not a little girl like you, and I won't scream when some clown is chasing me.
We could do it. Now you will ride on this wheel to the platform. There you will need to walk on wooden sticks and go down on one of the attractions.
But the view from above is of course very beautiful. You can even see other tests that we have to go through.
For the first time, I agree with my sister on at least something. The view is really very beautiful.
While you're talking here, I was there, I'm almost there.
Well, let me at least admire the views. But it's really beautiful, and you're here with your passage.
I'm just giving you a hint. You wouldn't even get through the first levels without me, and you're still complaining.
Oh, look at the balls from the very first levels. How did they even get here? Did they bring it here, or did they themselves?
I don't know, maybe they themselves came up here through the air, or they were brought by this guy who meets us at every level.
Funny, especially the version with the boy, although it is quite possible he also wants to get out with us.
Well, I don't know. I think it sounds kind of stupid. The version with balls is much better.
Why, in my opinion, the version of Story and Come is so much better. And what's so funny about the balls? Well, they just rose on their own. But just imagine how this guy went up the stairs, came down, brought them in again.
I also think that fighting with a guy is much better, because what's fun about it is that the balls just rose.
Gumball, be careful if you touch these games, you'll have to start all over again.
We also don't want to start voicing everything from the beginning. It's already been voiced for 4 minutes. Well done, Gumball, but now you have to go through the hardest level. This is the level with these flying obstacles.
It looks easy. I think I'll pass it on the first try, even easier than with these needles.
I thought this is where you would have to start over. It was one of the most difficult levels. Okay, let's see how you cope with the others.
If this was one of the most difficult, then I will pass everything without any problems.
Well, let's see. You made mistakes in this particular part of the game. Let's see how you cope this time.
Wow, Gumball, I just almost fell. This could have been decisive in our passage. I hope you won't make such mistakes in the future.
In fact, this section is one of the most difficult on the map for the legs so far. They can handle it without any problems. Let's see what happens next.
I think I will pass this part without any problems because it all looks very simple.
You haven't seen it in the next part yet, and there will be difficulties. There will be acceleration and an increase in the jump, and everything will be very difficult.
I think now Gumball will fall into the lava since this is another very difficult level.
Wow, what a predictor you are that you knew when Gumball would fall into the lava. Even I thought he would make it.
Okay, this is really a very difficult game. I think everything here will be much easier than in that part, but it turns out you shouldn't judge by the first test.
And we told you about this, and you didn't listen to us. Now be extremely careful, because now you will run very fast. This will complicate the parkour level.
After this incident, I will obey you. Otherwise, there may indeed be very difficult levels that I cannot cope with.
Despite the speed, Gumball basically copes well with this level. I think it's the same with the first slab.
Oh my god, I almost fell again. It was very risky, I think, that I'm about to fall. You can't imagine how difficult it is.
Despite this is a great job. I finished it on the first try, although it was one of the most difficult levels that were in this game.
Maybe Gumball thinks that this level was much easier than learning math because he is playing a game and not writing in a notebook.
Well, yes, because you write in a notebook and your hand gets tired. You also need to think a lot in parallel to solve the example. Otherwise, you just press the buttons and see when to press them.
But on the contrary, it's easier for me to write in notebooks than to play because in notebooks you write with your hand and not with your fingers, and on a computer you write with your fingers and not with your hand.
But in principle, I like this and that. It's easier everywhere, both on the computer and in a notebook, but still I like playing better than learning mathematics.
I agree with Darwin. It's also easier for me to play with nothing, write in a notebook, think about examples. You need to know everything, learn to remember. But here, everything is much easier.
Stop all this time, the volcano was a portal. I thought that you weren't allowed to fall there and there would be more levels from below.
And I immediately guessed about it. In my opinion, it was elementary because there were no levels below, so I only stayed to jump into the volcanoes.
Now the most difficult levels will begin, and they will follow each other in a row. You will need to go through them all. These are not the small pipes on which you jumped. Here, everything is much harder.
It all sounds very complicated. I thought everything would be much easier, and nothing would be heavier than those pipes.
Do you at least remember what happened to you last time when you didn't listen to us? It was on these pipes that you fell.
This is of course true, but the past times when I didn't listen to you, it was really difficult. But here it's just traps that it can be difficult.
You haven't seen the next level yet. Everything will be much more difficult there than with traps. You will need to walk on tiles that if you stand on it for a long time, can fall apart.
Okay, this is actually very hard, much more difficult than traps. Apparently the next level will be harder if everything goes as I think.
You are right in thinking that now it will be much harder than this level. The path will move in the opposite direction. They will go where you want. You will have to jump to get to the very end.
But in my opinion, everything is much simpler than the previous level. Here you just jump and it's nothing complicated.
It really was very simple. By the way, this was the last test. Now you just need to sit on the seat and ride until the very end.
It was a very interesting and difficult game, but different from all the others we had ever played.
Thank you for watching our walkthrough. Like and subscribe to the channel. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.